Good evening. Welcome to the City of Sugar Land City Council meeting for Tuesday, August the 6th. A little bit about tonight. In a minute, Stuart Jacobson is going to do the invocation. That'll be followed by a special guest who I'll introduce in a minute, which will lead us in the pledge of the nation's flag and the pledge to the Texas flag, and then we'll move on to the agenda. So at this time, Stuart, would you like to lead us in the invocation, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, before we dive headlong into the depths of municipal matters, I suggest we pause for a moment to give thanks for the opportunity and ability to serve, to give thanks to those who do the hard work of keeping us safe, of providing us with smooth roads to drive on, who provide us with clean drinking water, carry away our waste, groom our parks, and do all the unglamorous jobs that make our city great. In this fine city of Sugar Land, we're tasked with the grand challenge of making decisions that, in some small way, shape the future. And while that may sound rather impressive, we know that the true art of governance often involves wrestling with the mundane, the puzzling, and the occasionally ridiculous. But here's the thing, what we do here matters. It matters because it's done in the service of our fellow citizens, those who look to us not just for leadership, but for a bit of sanity in a world that seems determined to make as little sense as possible. So with gratitude to our Maker, by whatever name each of us knows you, may our deliberations be fruitful, our decisions be sound, and may we all emerge with our sense of humor intact. Amen.
Amen. And now it's my pleasure, Renee, if you'd like to come down. Renee Teal is the missions director of Christ Church, who has been a huge supporter of the Sugar Land community following Hurricane Beryl. Christ Church provided H-E-B gift cards to those in need of financial assistance. Additionally, she partnered with the city to coordinate volunteers for debris cleanup throughout the community. Renee, thank you and Christ Church for all you do for our community. You lead us in the pledge.
Be my honor. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now please join me in the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
And now, before we go to public comment, citizens who desire to address the City Council, Board and/or Commission in person, this happens to be the City Council, with regard to items on the agenda for consideration will now be given 3 minutes to speak. Please come forward as I call your name, and please remember that members of the audience should be mindful of our governing rules for conducting the business of the City Council. Clapping, chanting, or heckling from the audience as individuals participate in public comment is not allowed. Anyone desiring to be heard can come down to the podium. Ashley, have we received anybody signed up?
No one signed up.
No one signed up. Anybody would like to speak? Going once, going twice. We're going to move on now to item number 3, the consent agenda. All the items on the consent agenda will be taken under one motion unless a council member wants to pull an item. Do I have a motion? Got a motion by Carol McCutcheon. Do I have a second? Second. You got a second by Kermali. You'll vote at this time, please. There we go. Just came up. And it passes 6-0. We've got a council member that's out, Ms. Kermali, or Ms. Watley. That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it?
I bet you she's watching.
I bet you, well, she's going to be fun. She's going to have a good laugh. Item number 4, appointments. 4A, consideration of an action on appointment of Matthew Montez as municipal court judge for a salary of $130,000. And we have Ms. Paula Kutchka, our Director of People and Culture. Paula.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. As you know, in May of this year, our longstanding municipal judge announced his retirement. Judge Landine retired at the end of July after 21 years as a full-time employee, plus an additional 9 years for a total of almost 30 years of service as our municipal court judge. Staff worked with Council's hiring committee from late May through July to conduct an extensive recruitment process and identified Mr. Montez as our recommended candidate for council to appoint as municipal court judge.
Thank you. Judge, would you like to say anything to the council?
I just want to thank you all very much for the opportunity to serve this community. It's a very important responsibility to uphold and interpret the law for the citizens of the city, and I look forward to doing it to the best of my ability. So thank you all very much.
Judge, I think you have some special guests. Would you like to introduce your family?
Sure. Come on up here. I'd like to introduce my parents. This is Dr. Richard and Nancy Montes. Yeah, come on up. Or stand up. And then I have my wife, Dr. Rebecca Montez, with baby Hannah. It's my my mother-in-law, Elena Carlock, and my eldest daughter, Scarlett.
Welcome, Judge. Let's get through the motion, then we'll have you come down and we'll get some photographs with you and your family.
Thank you, Judge.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion. Got a motion by Jacobson. Ms. Kermali, would you like to do the second?
Mr. Watley?
Mr. Kermali.
Ms. Kermali? I mean, who am I today?
Yeah, there you go.
Second.
You got it.
Welcome aboard.
Your vote at this time, please. And it's a 6-0 vote. Thank you, council members. At this time, why don't we, Paula, why don't we get everybody down front and we'll get some pictures. Council members, if you can join the judge. Mike?
And we have some members of the court staff that are here as well in support of this, so just, yeah, come on around.
Long and ready. Thank you very much.
Item number 5A, consideration of an action on authorization of a contract with DG Medina Construction, LLC, in the amount of $3,185,193.75 for the Soldier Fields Extension and First Colony Roundabout Project, CIP CST 1901. We have with us Ms. Jessie Lee, our city engineer, and Mr. Hoy Tan, senior engineering manager. Jessie?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. It is our tradition to introduce staff when they make their first City Council presentation. So Hui joined us in last November and as a senior engineer manager. He graduated from University of Massachusetts with a bachelor degree in civil engineering. And he has over 15 years experiences, especially in roadway design and construction. He's a registered PE in state of Texas. Outside his professional life, his hobby includes woodwork and model building. He's married, he and his family and 2 dogs currently live in Cyprus, but he's looking for a house in Sugarland. So if you know any good deals, please let him know. But I think he's still a Red Sox fan, but I haven't checked with him yet.
We can change that real quick.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Welcome, Hoy.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, and City Manager. I'm here to present you the Soldiers Field Project extension and First Colony Roundabout. A little bit of background on the project. Traffic study was complete to evaluate the traffic impact of the proposed police department and municipal expansions. A study has encompassed the area of Highway 6, Brook Street, First Colony Boulevard, Soldiers Field, and we reviewed the crash data and level service in this study. So when we reviewed the crash data, it showed that at these intersections, the crash data is higher than average due to failure to yield when turning left and failure to use when stop. And also the level of service at this intersection is below desirable based on the city standards. So we're looking into options at this intersection by evaluate a traffic signal and a roundabout. And so when we evaluate the traffic signal, we found that by putting a traffic signal at this intersection is too close to the next intersection, which is Highway 6 and First Colony, and Meadowcroft and First Colony. So by putting traffic signal too close to each other, it's really hard to synchronize all the traffic together. And this would cause delay in the wait time and lower the level of service at this intersection. So a study is recommended to have a roundabout at these intersections. A roundabout can reduce the traffic congestion, improve safety, and help with the continuous flow of traffic at this intersection. Also, we added a right turn lane as Highway 6 and extend the Soldiers Field to connect the police department and give them access to Highway 6. So the project scope is adding a right turn lane on Highway 6 and extending Soldiers Field Drive from Highway 6 to the existing cul-de-sac, remove the existing cul-de-sac, and reconstruction of the pavement in that area, construction the newer roundabout at Soldiers Field and First Colony Boulevard. Additional to this reconstruction, we also improve the storm sewer water lines and sanitary sewer, adding bike lane sidewalks per the pedestrian and bicycle master plan for connectivity and network inside the city of Sugar Land. So, contract selection. The design was complete on May 2024. The invitation to bid was advertised on May 2022 and May 29th. Bid opening was June 6, 2024. There was 4 qualified bids received. The bid ranged from $3.18 million to $4 million, and it's also including 3 alternatives, which is high-strength concrete, a radar signal, and sidewalk. So DG Medina Construction LLC, with the total bid, the lowest bidder at $3.18 million. The project funding needs for this project construction is about $3.18 million. Contingency is $159,000. Construction admin is $15,000. Street lighting is $60,000. Construction material testing is $51,000. So the total funding needed for this project is about $3.47 million. We have available budgets on the CST 1901 on the 2019 GEO bond is $3.45 million. A 2023 Fort Bend Mobility Bond, $1.8 million. The ILA for that is going to be on the 820 City Council agenda for approval. So we have the total budget of approximately $5.25 million. The project schedule is notice to proceed is August 2024, and substantial completion is approximately 270 calendar days. It's going to take us to May 2025 to complete this project. So construction impact. Just like every other roadway construction, this project is going to impact the community around the construction area. There's going to be a 10-week closure to build the roundabout, and there will be lane closure for the detours. So to minimize this impact, we propose the phasing for this project. So on the screen, you can see that this project is built in 3 phases. So phase 1 is highlighted in pink, We're gonna build the right lanes at Highway 6 and extend it from Highway 6 to the existing cul-de-sac on the Soldiers Field. Phase 2, we're gonna remove the existing cul-de-sac and reconstruction the pavement in the area. Once this complete, we're gonna shut down the intersection and build phase 3 of the project, which is the roundabout. So here's the detour after we complete the extension of the roundabout. Of the extension of Soldier Field, we're gonna and close down the roundabout. We're gonna send traffic down to Meadowcroft Boulevard and University Boulevard to access Highway 6. And also, we utilize the newly built extension to have business on Soldier Field access to Highway 6. Also, to minimize the impact of the project, we add an alternator with using high-strength concrete to expedite the curing of the pavement to reduce the scheduling time. So with normal concrete, it's going to take about 2 months for the whole closure. But if we utilize the high-strength, early-strength concrete, it's going to cut down to about 10 weeks. That is what we propose. And also, we have about, if the contractor doesn't open the intersection in 10 weeks, there's a $500 per day that they have to pay to the city if they don't open that on time. So the notification plans, we plan to have an outreach to the school and the religious center in the area. We're going to work with our communication team to post on social media and the city website and HOA notifications for the businesses and the subdivision around the area. And if we need one-on-one communication, we can do that as well. There will be electronic message boards on site to warn the public about the lane closure and detours. We also coordinate with TxDOT and Fort Bend County on their project to minimize the traffic impact. If there's a closure on their project, we will work with them to schedule the closure different, so we will not impact a lot on the traffic. So request for approval. The Engineering and Public Works Departments recommend the approval of the construction contract with DG Medina Construction LLC for the Soldiers Field Extension First Colony Roundabout Project, CIP CST 1901, in the amount of $3,185,193.75. I'm happy to answer any question that.
Thank you, Council members. Nishad.
We welcome aboard.
Thank you.
District 2 is the place where you want to buy your house, first and foremost. It's beautiful. You just described it, and you're talking about District 2 right now, Meadowcroft University.
Yes,
it's a
sir.
great area. It's a great area. A couple of houses in my neighborhood for sale, too. Welcome aboard. I know you're new to this, but I've been talking to Dr. Lee, Rob, Brian, about this since 2019 when the first study came out. I drive this street 4 times a day.
Yes, sir.
I have major concerns about phase 3. Phase 1 and phase 2 that you described, the extension, all that is good.
Yes.
Phase 3, when it comes to a roundabout, our citizens don't know how to, number one, drive in a roundabout. It's very difficult. I have never witnessed an accident here, but that doesn't matter because I looked at the top 15, staff gave me the top 15 intersections where we have accidents. This intersection is not there, of Soldiers Field and First Colony Boulevard. It's not on the list. So I guess and I know this was part of the GO bond, and I know the money is there. My concern is studies are good. But we've also, the same council has looked at studies and denied studies and shelved studies because it doesn't make sense to the community. To me, once again, phase 1 looks good. Phase 2 looks good. Why can't we hold off on Phase 3? We have the funding, and we have an extra $1.8 million from the county as well. So we're actually overfunded per your presentation a few minutes ago. My recommendation is that we do Phase 1, Phase 2, and we hold Phase 3 based on, it's not in the top 15 in the accident report. Not that I'm scientific. I drive it 4 times a day, sometimes 6 and 8. I've never had a backup along Highway 6. And the improvement that TxDOT has been doing along Highway 6, Brooks, and First Colony have truly made an impact at that intersection. And from what I understand, TxDOT is still making one more correction. Dr. Lee, if you're out there, they're still making one more fix at Highway 6 in Brook Street for the left turn. So with all these improvements, Mayor, respectfully, I'd like to say that I like Phase 1, I like Phase 2, but Phase 3, let's wait and see if the roundabout is necessary. And it may cost more down the road, and I get that, but we may not need it at all. And those are my comments. I don't per se have questions, but I had just those comments.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? William?
Also, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I want everyone to know I absolutely love roundabouts. I know other people don't. They don't like driving on them, but I believe they're efficient and I believe they're safe. I drive through this intersection often, not 4 times a day. I cannot imagine why we need a roundabout there. Now, I too like Phase 1 and 2. I don't like Phase 3. I don't like that right now Highway 90 and 99's a mess, University Boulevard, 59, and then we're going to tell our community they have to detour First Colony Boulevard and Soldier Field. And I, for one, don't see the necessity because I've seen no reports, I've seen no safety reports, I've seen nothing. And not that I'm the final say, but for me to get behind it, I have to understand the threat to the public. And all I see is chaos. And I could be wrong. We're doing everything else well, but piling this on top of what our community is already struggling with traffic, I believe it's terrible timing. And I too, as was just said, I like 1 and 2. I do not like Part 3. So that's my thoughts.
Before we go any further, somebody from staff address the traffic. We did a TIA,
Yeah, Mayor.
and let's have somebody explain to council, the background of the traffic impact analysis and why it's necessary, so that we can all understand what's driving the project. Go ahead.
Will do. Good evening, Mayor, City Manager, and council members. My name is Jason Vaughn. I'm a traffic engineering manager for the engineering department. A lot of y'all know me. I've been here for 11, 12, about 11 years. I was over in Public Works for most of the time until recently moved over to engineering. So to answer a question about the traffic study, can y'all hear me good?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And that answer about the traffic study, for the longest times, as we was mentioning, and that this was one of the intersections that had a lot of failure to yield crashes. What that means is side street traffic, people turning left from First Colony onto Soldiers Field. We were getting a high number of those crashes per year. We had about 7 years. Let me take a step back. A high number per state standards. The Texas Manual Uniform Traffic Control Devices is 5 crashes in a 12-month period. We have about 7 years where we were exceeding that. And doesn't sound like a lot, but for city intersections, not the state intersections, that's a pretty high amount compared to other intersections. We have some others, Derry Ashford at Julie Rivers North intersection, that has a high amount. So that was one of the catalysts looking at this intersection, conducting the study. And the purpose of the study is as we were noticing the accident history. And so we conducted a study to take a look at different alternatives for improvements to the intersection. The accident history was a concern, so hired city did contract services with a consultant to take a look at different alternatives there. And when they conducted it, they did say that it did show that the intersection passed the state warrants for an improvement, and that primarily on the history of crash history. In that, and with that, they looked at the signal and they looked at the roundabout, and it showed it had the different alternatives. The roundabout had the best improvement, taking the intersection from lower. We had mentioned lower levels of service or higher congestion that the intersection was showing to a much better improvement. Those letters are from level of service A to F, E being capacity, F being worse than capacity. Intersection was run around DRF during the time of the study, and the improvement showed we could get it up to level of service A and B. And that, so hopefully that help answer your question.
Well, so here's what I'm taking away, Jason. That's a lot of engineering stuff. Here's what I'm taking away. We had a safety issue at an intersection. We had too many accidents. You know, we're all about the public health, safety, and welfare here. So because of the number of accidents we had, we went and commissioned a study of experts. You know, men and women that they do this for a living. They look at what is available and what's not. How can we solve it? Hoy made the comment, we can't put a signal there. It's too close to the signal on Highway 6. So putting a signal there is out. Putting a stop sign there, we've done that before. That doesn't work. So a roundabout, and I am an engineer, a roundabout, what it does is it's more of a calming situation. People, I do not agree that people in Sugar Land are really smart. They know how to drive roundabouts. They can figure that out. And the last thing I want to do is step into an engineering report that says this is what we need. We don't build it, and then we get a bunch more accidents. And then we've got that as our city, we have that information. We didn't take action on it. So I'm going to make a motion that we approve this and that we move forward with the project as planned with the phases. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. Every construction project that I've seen is a little uncomfortable. Witness the bridges over Highway 59 right now and Highway 9 and State Highway 99. So Jennifer, I think you had a question too. I'll turn it to you.
Yeah, that was also my concern as well with the other projects that we've got going on with 90 and 99 and 59. But you had mentioned something about a different type of concrete that we were going to be able to install that was going to be faster. Could you explain that again?
So what they call is high early strength concrete. So normal concrete is going to take at least 7 days to 28 days before you break it and test for strength. So if it's not come up to strength, you have to wait 28 days and test it again to put traffic on it. But the high early strength concrete, you can test it in 24 hours or 3 days, and this will give you the result really quick. So you can put traffic on it as soon as up to a week.
So your level of service improves within a certain number of days as opposed to within a month.
Yes.
Yeah. Stuart, and then I'll come back to you, William.
Thank you, Mayor. Is it significant? Nishad pointed out that there's 15 other intersections that are ahead of this, more dangerous. Is this significant that it's not in the top 15?
Yeah, I would like to add a clarification for that question. We are currently doing a study, safety study, identify 15 locations. But this location, the reason this location is not on that list because we already know, we already studied this intersection. It's above the other 15. That's why the other 15 is ongoing. This one already done, already completed. Another thing I would like to add it on is that if you look at traffic counts today, you don't see that number, but we build a road not just for today. We build every road, especially new road, or increase capacity on any road is to look into the future. So in the future, we have court expansion, and we have PD new headquarters proposed in 2024 GeoBond. And that new headquarters will have community component built it in. We are going to drive traffic to that site. In addition, when we build this Soldiers Field extension to Highway 6, we are going to change traffic pattern in that entire area. We're not going to, people will use this road to not necessarily go to Highway 6 and the First Colony. That's a very congested intersection already. So we can help alleviate that congestion when we build this extension.
William?
Mayor, I think what I'm suffering from is either a lack of intelligence or simply a lack of information, because I know you guys are smart, all right? And I believe in roundabouts, but knowing, and I think we don't even have to guess, the confusion people already are, or the frustration level people are already at with our mobility. I get if you say it's necessary, I get it. But I don't have any data to say, look, guys, we're having 37 accidents a year. We're having serious bodily injury in these accidents. I have no idea. I have no data, no information. So for me to vote yes, for me to say I support this interruption in people's mobility, I really would like to have some data so I can discuss it with them and say, you don't understand, but I have no data.
Yeah, we do have crash data, and we also have traffic counts. And moving into decision-driven making decisions, that's a city priority. And we also actively working on gathering more data and utilize the data in the right way. We are actually doing a pilot using cameras rather than the cable, counting the traffic numbers. So that gives us a lot more data in the future.
You know, Jesse, I think, understand TIA, so it also makes projections of traffic counts based on patterns. Because we're doing phase 1 and phase 2, that's going to open another outlet onto Highway 6, possibly another route for people to take, which is also going to create traffic. So again, you know, I'm going to go with the recommendation of staff, and the TIA is that we do phase 1, we do phase 2, we do phase 3. If there's a communication issue, then I think we can handle the communication issue. I don't agree with delaying it. I'm not going to second guess what the consultants have put out there, and that's why I made the motion to approve. I'm happy to talk about it as long as you guys want to talk about it.
Second the motion, Mayor.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. Carol?
It's going to be a 2-lane roundabout.
This will be a multi-lane roundabout, so it'll keep the same number of approaches for First Colony Boulevard as 2-lane approaches and single-lane approaches on the Soldiers Field side. And those are quite common throughout the country. I talked to a lot of roundabout engineers around the country.
They're quite common here.
Well, it is true. It's become a common. It is. So, thank you.
If I could add, because we hear concerns about people not knowing how to drive on the roundabout, we have education material already published on website, and we can go out to neighborhood, to HOA meetings, and tell people how to drive on those. We have videos showing people how to drive on roundabout. There's a lot of education material we have been publishing.
That's a good point, Jesse. Just a little bit more robust communication plan.
We're
Anyone
even
else?
thinking, hold a block party at the roundabout, doing Saturday or Sunday, close out and have drivers, like
That'll get people fired up,
Jason,
Jesse.
drive on roundabout to show people.
Not sure I want to do that, but okay. You got a motion, I got a second. Let's call for the vote. Call for the question. And it's a 4-2 vote. The motion passes 4-2. Council members, thank you for the discussion. And you're good to go to move forward. Item number 6, ordinances, resolutions. First consideration of an action on City of Sugar Land ordinance number 2339, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sugar Land, Texas, amending Chapter 2, Article 3, Division 3 of the Code of Ordinances regarding advisory boards to add a new section, 263, creating a music advisory board. And we have with us Ms. Shaw Davis, but before that, I think, Herc, you're going to introduce Shaw.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Council and Mayor. Just like we had another first-time introduction a minute ago, this is Shay Davis. She is our Civic Arts Manager. She's been with the city for about a year and a half over our Civic Arts program. Y'all may have seen her out at a few festivals, Summer of Sound, and other things that she's brought to the city. She has her Bachelor of Arts from the Academy of Arts and her MBA from University of Texas. So with that, turn it over to Shay. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Shay Davis, Sugar Land Civic Arts Manager, and I'm bringing to you today the first consideration of ordinance number 2339. This ordinance is an amending Chapter 2, Article 3, Division 3 of the Code of Ordinances regarding advisory boards to add a new section to 2-63, creating a music advisory board. What do I do? So last March, we spoke to a couple different departments and divisions in the city. We went through the Zen City data, and we kind of looked at what it was that residents were hoping to have happen in the city. And a lot of people are really hoping for more live music opportunities, not just big concerts, but small things that residents can walk to and be a part of. Buskers in the city, things like the busker program we started at Imperial Farmers Market. And in order to do that, we started researching ways that we can get musicians to know that Sugar Land was the place to come to explore their new music options. What we found was that Texas Music Office is the largest music office in the nation. They operated out of the Governor's Office of Economic Development and Tourism and is the first and longest running state music office in the nation in the voice of the Texas commercial music industry. Since 1990, TMO has offered the economic development of Texas music businesses, Texas musicians, and Texas music communities. So the music-friendly certification is what we are after right now. It's the first and only statewide program of its kind in the nation since 2016. It provides over 60 Texas communities with a network for fostering music industry development, and it sends a clear message to industry professionals that certified communities are serious about attracting and developing music industry growth. So, we submitted an application to the Texas Music Office in May of 23, and then we attended a mandatory liaison training last September. Inside of this chambers here in February, we held a workshop with the Governor's Office to answer any questions that anybody might have and to open up the opportunity for people to join the board. And we opened those applications March 2024. The Music Advisory Board, what is it? So this is a board of people who are active musicians, teachers in the local schools, venue owners from the city who promote music in Sugar Land by connecting and supporting musicians, venues, and vendors through advocacy and mentorship. They collect music industry data and feedback for updates and growth, and they let us know what our local industry is in need of. And they provide a forum for exchange of ideas among music industry stakeholders in order to further promote the music community in Sugar Land. They innovate and generate ideas for the advancement of Sugar Land, being known for its music scene, like coming up with really cool venue ideas. And one of our largest things is to start building our Sugar Land database of all of the music venues, music studios, booking agents, producers, musicians, as they begin to flock to Sugar Land as our program grows. So the board is made up of 5, but no more than 9 members. 1 member must be a city employee. The board members must have knowledge of music industry and show active involvement in local community music scene, and they will not exceed a 2-year term to exceed 3 of those 2-year terms, so about 6 years over. The Music Advisory Board applications closed on May 24. And we have a variety of stakeholders and different departments take a look at the applications. And then we took those applications to the Council Boards and Commission Task Force on July 26th for approval. Our next steps is to approve the reading of Ordinance 2339 to create the Music Advisory Board, the second reading on August the 20th, City Council appointment of the Music Advisory Board on the 20th, to finalize the music-friendly city certification with TMO. And then we're planning to reschedule our Summer of Sound that got ruined by Beryl. It'll be on October 26th, and we would love to have our celebration that day, bringing the governor's office down to certify Sugar Land as the next music-friendly city in the state of Texas. So I ask that you approve ordinance number 2339 to create our Music Advisory Board for the city of Sugar Land.
Thank you,
If you have any
Shay.
clarifying
Questions?
questions.
Yeah, Jennifer, and then William.
I just want to say thank you for putting this together. I think this is going to be a wonderful, fun way to build community within the city. We can get, our kids involved and those have concerts and things like that. Parents love to come out and hear that. So I'm really looking forward to this because this is what I've been hearing from the community. They wanted more music in the city. So thank you.
William.
Music Advisory Board. Why do we not already have one? I love blues, I love country, I love it all. So I cannot wait till you guys present your ideas. What a creative idea. Thank you for bringing it.
Carol.
Yes, I'm really excited about this. I would like to make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by McCutcheon. Do I have a second? Second. Got a second by Kermali. Vote this time, please. And it passes 6-0. Thank you, Shay.
Thank you.
Item number 7, City Council City Manager reports. 7A, City Council Member reports. Stuart, let's start with you.
Thank you, Mayor. Of the things that I did all by myself, I hosted the Sugar Land Marriott Management Group at the Smart Financial Center last Saturday night, where they were performing a country version of Cirque du Soleil.
There we go. Carol.
Thank you. I participated in a public safety roundtable of community leaders that was moderated by the Fort Bend District Attorney, Brian Middleton. And also Mayor Stewart, Suzanne, and I attended Judge Landine's retirement. And several of us attended the Kelsey-Seybold ribbon cutting of its brand new building.
LaShawn.
It's been said, Mayor.
William.
Mayor, I don't think I have anything else to say except great work to our executive team and our staff for what I see happening day in and day out, cleaning up our city after the hurricane. Everything else I have to say just doesn't matter. That's just great work. Thank you.
Jennifer.
Just to expand on the Kelsey-Seybold location, it is the second largest hub in the state of Texas, right here in the city of Sugar Land, and they're going to add around 100 employees and start their day surgeries starting the first quarter of 25. So that'll be very convenient for city employees.
And I'll highlight 2 things. One is the volunteer effort with staff and with our businesses at the suites at the ball game. Great job, city staff, making sure that we've got people. We've got diversity of business. We've got diversity of staff members that are there. That takes a real commitment. Thank you for that, Mike. And then I know that we have opening soon. I know Thursday, their Cirque du Soleil is coming to Smart Financial. That's a really big deal. Elise and her team work really hard to get it there. So if you haven't made your reservations, make your reservations, get out and support the community. Mike, let's go to item B, City Manager report.
No report, Mayor.
Got a motion to adjourn at 6:16. Thank you, council members.